Tamerlane by Edgar Allan Poe. Kind solace in a dying hour, such father is not now my theme. I will not madly deem that power of earth may shrive me of the sin, unearthly pride that revelled in. I have no time to dote or dream. You call it hope, that fire of fire. It is but agony of desire. If I can hope, O God, I can. Its font is holier, more divine. I would not call thee fool, old man, but such is not a gift of thine. Know thou the secret of a spirit, bowed from its wild pride into shame. O yearning heart, I did inherit thy withering portion with the fame, the searing glory which hath shone amid the jewels of my throne. Halo of hell, and with a pain not hell shall make her fear again. O craving heart for the lost flowers and sunshine of my summer hours, the undying voice that dead time with its interminable chime rings in the spirit of a spell upon thy emptiness a knell. I have not always been as now, the fevered diadem on my brow I claimed and won unsurprisingly. Hath not the same fierce heirdom given Rome to the Caesar, this to me, the heritage of a kingly mind, and a proud spirit hath striven triumphantly with humankind. On mountain soil I first drew life, the mists of the Taglay have shed nightly their dews upon my head, and I believe the winged strife, the tumult of the headlong air, have nestled in my very hair. So late from heaven that dew it fell, mid dreams of an unholy night, upon me with the touch of hell, while red flashings of the light from clouds that hung like banners o'er appeared to my half-closing eye, the pageantry of monarchy, and the deep trumpet thunder's roar came hurriedly upon me, telling of human battle, where voice, my own voice, silly child, was swelling. Oh, how my spirit would rejoice and leap within me at the cry, the battle cry of victory. The rain came down upon my head, unsheltered, and the heavy wind rendered me mad and deaf and blind. It was but man, I thought, who shed laurels upon me, and the rush, the torrent of the chilly air, gurgled within my ear the crush of empires with the captive prayer, the hum of suitors and the tone of flattery round a sovereign's throne. My passions from that hapless hour usurped a tyranny which men have deemed. Since I have reached to power, my innate nature be it so. But, Father, there lived one who then in my boyhood, when their fire burned with a still intenser glow, for passion must with youth expire, even then who knew this iron heart in woman's weakness had a part. I have no words, alas, to tell the loveliness of loving well, nor would I now attempt to trace the more than beauty of a face, whose laments upon my mind are shadows the unstable wind. Thus I remember having dwelt some page of early lore upon, with loitering eyes, till I have felt the letters with their meaning melt to fantasies with none. Oh, she was worthy of all love, love as in infancy was mine. 'Twas such an angel minds above might envy her young heart the shrine, on which my every hope and thought were incense, then a goodly gift. For they were childish and upright, pure as her young example taught. Why did I leave it and adrift? Trust to the fire within for light. We grew in age and love together, roaming the forest and the wind, my breast her shield in wintry weather. And when the friendly sunshine smiled, and she would mark the opening skies, I saw no heaven but in her eyes. Young love's first lesson is the heart. For mid that sunshine and those smiles, from our little cares apart, and laughing at her girlish wiles, I'd throw me on her throbbing breast, and pour my spirit out in tears. There was no need to speak the rest, no need to quiet any fears of her who'd asked no reason why, but turned on me her quiet eye, yet more than worthy of the love my spirit struggled with and strove. When on the mountain peak alone, ambition lent it a new tone. I had no being but in thee, the world and all it did contain. In the earth, the air, the sea, its join, its little lot of pain. That was new pleasure, the ideal, dim vanities of dreams by night, and dimmer nothings which were real. Shadows and a more shadowy light parted upon their misty wings, and so confusedly became thine image and a name, two separate and yet most intimate things. I was ambitious to you have known, the passion father you have not. A cottager I'd mark a throne of half the world as all my own, and murmured as such lowly lot, but just like any other dream, upon the vapor of the dew, my own had passed, did not the beam of beauty which, while it did throw the minute, the hour, the day oppress my mind with double loveliness. We'd walk together on the crown of a high mountain which looked down afar from its proud and natural towers of rock and forest on the hills, the dwindled hills begirt with bowers, and shouting with 1,000 rills. I spoke to her of power and pride, but mystically in such guise that she may not deem it naught beside the movements converse in her eyes. I read perhaps too carelessly a mingled feelings with my own. The flush on her bright cheek to me seemed to become a queenly throne. Too well that I should let it be light in the wilderness alone. I wrapped myself in grandeur there, and donned a visionary's crown. And yet it was not that fantasy had thrown her mantle over me, but that among the rabble men, lion ambition it's chained down, and crouches to a keeper's hand. Not so when deserts were the grand, the wild, the terrible conspire, with their own breath to fan his fire. Look round thee now, the Skemerskrand is not the queen of earth, her pride above all cities in her hand, their destinies? In all besides of glory which the world hath known, stands not she nobly and alone? Falling her veriest stepping stone shall from the pedestal of a throne, and who her sovereign Timur he, whom the astonished people saw striding over empires haughtily, a diademed outlaw. O human love, thou spirit given on earth of all we hope in heaven, which fallest to the soul like rain upon the Syriac weathered plain, and falling in thy power to bless, but leav'st the heart a wilderness. Idea, which bind'st life around with music of so strange a sound, with beauty so wild a birth, farewell, for I have won the earth. When hope the eagle that towered could see no cliff beyond him in the sky, his pinions were bent droopingly, as homeward turned his softened eye. 'Twas sunset when the sun will part, there comes a sullenness of heart to him who still would not look upon the glory of the summer sun. That soul would hate the evening mist so often lovingly, and will list to the sound of coming darkness, known to those whose spirits hearken, as one who in the dream of night would fly but cannot from a danger nigh. What though moon, the white moon, shed all the splendor of her noon? Her smile is chilly, and her beam in that time of dreariness it will seem. So you like to gather in your breath a portrait taken after death, and boyhood is a summer sun, whose waning is the dreariest one. For we all live to know is known, and we all seek to keep hath flown. Yet life then, as the day flower, fall with noonday beauty, which is all. I reached my home, my home no more, for all had flown who made it so. I passed out from its mossy door, and though my tread was soft and low, a voice came from the threshold stone, of one who I had earlier known. Oh, I defy thee, hell, to show, on beds of fire that burn below, on humbler heart a deeper woe. Father, I firmly do believe, I know for death who comes for me, from regions of the blessed afar, there where there are nothing to deceive. Hath is the iron gate ajar, and the rays of truth you cannot see are flashing through eternity. I believe that Eblis hath a snare in every human path, else now, when in the holy grove I wandered of the idol love, whose daily sense of his snowy swings with incense burnt offerings, from the most unpolluted things, whose pleasant bowers are not yet so riven, above the trellised rays from heaven, no mote may shun the tiniest fly, the lightning of his eagle eye. How was it that of ambition crept, unseen, amid the revels there, till growing bold he laughed and leapt in the tangles of love's very hair?